Here's something that nobody in the self-help world wants to admit. You can understand yourself completely, like deeply, thoroughly, all the way down, understand yourself, and still not be able to change. Not because you're broken, not because you haven't worked hard enough, but because understanding and integration are two completely different things. And most of us were never told that. So that's what we're talking about today. Okay, so you've done the reflecting, you know your patterns. You can probably explain to somebody exactly why you do the thing you do. Maybe you've even got a pretty solid origin story for it, and still, the thing keeps happening. I want to offer you 3 reasons why that is. Because I think when you understand why knowing isn't enough, it actually opens the door to something better. The first reason is this: the parts of you that are running these patterns, they didn't get the memo. Inside every behavior you wish you could stop, there is a part of you, and I mean this literally, not as a metaphor. There's a part of you that has really good reasons for doing it. The part that goes quiet when conflict shows up learned that silence kept you safe. The part that overworks learned that your worth had to be earned. The part that reaches for the wine or the phone or the snacks learned that numbing out was sometimes the only option available. When you show up with your insight, okay, I understand why I do this now, that part does not automatically retire because it's not responding to information. It's responding to relationship. And that's the shift. Understanding says, I see why you're here. Integration says, I'm here with you. Those are not the same things. One is observation, the other is contact. What actually moves these parts isn't knowing about them, it's meeting them, approaching them with curiosity instead of frustration, with some actual respect for the job they've been doing, probably for a very long time. The second reason understanding isn't enough: your body has absolutely not read your insights. Like it got no notification whatsoever. Here's the thing about how you're wired. Your thinking brain, your cortex, the part doing the analyzing and the journaling and the aha momenting, that's only one part of the system. Your survival brain, which is older and faster and doesn't care about your breakthroughs, is running a completely different program. And that survival brain is where a lot of your patterns actually live. Not in your thoughts, but in your body, in that lump in your chest before a hard conversation, in the way your shoulders come up around your ears when someone's upset with you, in the total shutdown that can happen when you feel criticized. Those are not thoughts. Those are your body keeping track of every time something felt threatening, often way before you had words for it. So when you try to think your way out of a pattern that lives in your survival brain, you're essentially trying to have a very reasonable conversation with a smoke detector. The smoke detector doesn't care that you're just making toast, it's doing its job. Integration means learning to work with those body signals instead of arguing with them. Those responses, the held breath, the tight jaw, the urge to disappear, those are actually information. They can tell you which parts of you feel threatened. And knowing that is where healing can begin. The third reason, and this one's maybe the most important, is that understanding something is something you do alone. You sit with yourself, you figure yourself out, you arrive at insight. It's like a solo mission. But integration, not a solo sport. Most of the patterns that need the most healing formed in relationship, in the presence of people who were unavailable or scary or just imperfect humans doing their imperfect human thing. And what gets wounded in the relationship tends to heal also in relationship. That means being witnessed, being known, like actually known and still accepted. Having your most guarded, defended places met with something other than judgment. You can know intellectually that you're worthy of that, but only actually experiencing it starts to make it real in the places that matter. This is why you can have every insight about your attachment patterns and still feel your stomach drop when someone important goes quiet. The knowing is in your head. The healing comes when you can meet the wound with love, with care, with someone present who isn't going anywhere. So if you've done serious work on yourself and something still isn't moving, please hear me when I say you have not failed at healing. You may just be at the edge of what understanding alone is able to do. The next step isn't more analyzing, it's more meeting, it's more accepting, it's more relationship. Meet the parts of you that are working so hard to keep you safe. Meet your body, which has its own story to tell. Meet the parts of yourself that needed love and care back when those patterns first formed, and still do. That's integration. And that's exactly what we do in Notice, Name, Nurture, my soul-centered parts work group. If you're curious, the link is in the description. And if this video landed for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because I think a lot of us have been told that insight is the finish line. And it's not. It's the starting line. I'll see you in the next one.